let's start with it, Aryan. Why don't you tell us about the starting of the journey from you being an entrepreneur, or I would start at a very early stage. So why don't you start with your introduction?
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me. I think the content that we're going to talk about here today would appeal to your audience, and let's get straight into that. I build tech products. I love technology. I started programming at the age of 12, and I've been doing that since then. Started my first company when I was about 16, and I made tech for other clients, other startups, and I did that for 2 years. And in those 2 years, I worked with about 8 or so clients, and I'm very grateful for all the lessons that I've learned in that time. I was making technology for all of them, and then I was doing their, how to get an idea to a product and then how to sell that. So I was observing all of that, and then after 2 years, I decided that I can try this myself, and I got into products. As of right now, I have 3 products in my portfolio, and one of them is a product that has a camera and 2 microphones, and it tells our customers about their customers by reading their facial expressions, speech intonation, body language. And the other 2 products are in valuation. And as of right now, in this Corona time, I'm exploring more product ideas. My products are not generating right now, but I've learned many lessons from these 3 products and the tech I've built for other products in the past.
All right. So why don't you just tell us about your first startup, the time when we actually met with each other in Rajasthan during a global hackathon, and why don't you just tell us about the starting of the first startup, and then how you took the products into the market, and what were the challenges that you faced, and how are you planning out not to be repeated in your particular current startup and in your future startup or engagement? Yeah.
There are 2 questions here. First of all, you're asking me about how my journey went, and second of all, you're asking about the lessons in general that are a product of doing all of those things, and those are the extract from the things that have happened. So first you're asking about the experiences, and then you're asking about the extract of the experiences. So let me tell you about the experiences first. We met in, I think, 2017 or 2018, somewhere around that.
Yeah.
And in 2017, I went to Stanford University to attend a short course, and then I saw a lot of AI happening there. And as soon as I came back, I started with that. So I'd already been making other, I've been making apps, etc. So I got into AI in 2017, and then there was this guy who was doing my PR at the time. He was in Mumbai. He was my father's friend, and as I was young at that time, and I was making projects that was attracted to the media, so they were interested in that. So that guy in Mumbai was managing that, and he happened to co-found this media startup that later got funded by SoftBank India. So I was working with SoftBank India and them for a while. How that started was, he called me and he said, we've been working on this concept, and I heard that AI can help with such a thing. And then I was like, well, I do AI. Well, let's sit and chat, or if we bounce off some ideas. If we find something interesting, we can look into it. So we did that, and I ended up making that algorithm for them. And then I realized that I can turn this into a business. So I came back to Jaipur, and I had come to 10th grade at that point, and my parents wouldn't fund a team entirely and a setup entirely. I was going to school at that time. So what I did was I sent all my profile to colleges nearby, and this was SKIT, MNIT, and later more were added. So what I did was I planned this internship program for college students. This was targeting 4th year students, And I got them for this program, and the response to the program, let me tell you the first time I went there. I pitched the whole thing. I was like, this is what I've been working on, and I'll give you everything. What I learned at Stanford, MIT, and then also online. And I've been making, cool projects that do stuff, with security cameras, connecting devices together, a lot of computer vision, natural language processing, etc. And I pitched all of that, and this is my honest idea, and this is what I told them, and this is what I did afterwards. I told them, I'm going to give you all of this. We're going to do this together. This is a program where I take nothing from you. You don't give me a single rupee. You come in, I give you. I teach you TensorFlow and other machine learning libraries at the time, and those of you who do well, you're going to work with me for a while, and even in your time of your internship, you're going to work on a few projects. So in the very first pitch, there were about 200 people, and the response, I thought that they didn't like it at all because they had 0 questions. And then I checked the forms after 10 minutes. So I had a live Google form. So after 10 minutes of me finishing my part, I saw let me check that, okay? I have that. I saw, let me open this. 147 responses on that. So out of 200, 147 filled the form. And it was a long form that asked them questions. So the response was overwhelmingly good, and we did that 3-4 times, and then after that I'd set up a decentralized army of developers that we developed a lot of things together, and then we made things for the 8 clients that I had in these 2 years. That's how I started my first company. Now in my workspace, I tried a lot of things that some of them worked really well, some of them I learned lessons from. Now, one of them was having an environment that people feel aspired to when they go to work. My goal is to set up an environment that gets more done, that gets people in that flow state, that gets them flowing, that makes them more productive. Now, to begin with, you have a general system of, come at 10 a.m., leave at 6 p.m., and this is the lunchtime, this is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, nice.
So I experimented with a lot of different... So my system was more task-based. We had a TT table, we had beanbags, you could rest, you could play table tennis. You just had to do the work. And then for the rest, you can enjoy your time. Do what makes you productive. And that was all watched, it was all not unmoderated. But what I noticed was people seemed to really like that. We sometimes played light music at work in one of the rooms. And this is what I saw. These are 4th year students, and I saw their eyes shine and light up because, for most of their time in school and college, they've been oppressed rather. Their teachers come up and they boss them, and they don't want to, they had never gotten an environment where they can just experiment with stuff. They can try out their ideas, and that those ideas contribute to a greater product that comes into form as they work. So for me, that was really interesting to, just working with them and seeing how it goes, and I learned many things from that experience in those 2 years.
That's great. So